Hey there, welcome to the Get Fully Funded channel. I'm Sandy Reese, Chief Encouragement Officer here at Get Fully Funded, where we help small nonprofits learn to raise the money they need to fully fund their budget. I am here to help you master the art and science of fundraising tip by tip, and I've got a really good one for you today. But first, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that every time we upload a new piece of content, you're the first one to know. All right, let's get to this week's tip. Anytime that you have on your board stress, frustration, people not doing what they're supposed to be doing, you probably have a lack of clear expectations. Now, I'm a big believer in setting clear expectations from the get-go. So what does that look like? That looks like in the process of recruiting someone. And note that I said it's a process. In that process, you want to be very clear with your prospect, your board member prospect, what you expect from your board members. If you don't set clear expectations and if you don't provide adequate orientation and training, then when people get on your board, they're going to do whatever. They're going to do whatever they've done before on another board, or they're going to do whatever looks fun or familiar. You don't want any of that. Setting clear expectations really helps build your culture because you're telling people from the beginning that fundraising is expected, that they are expected to make an individual financial contribution, that they are expected to serve on a committee, and whatever else expectations you have for your board members. When you tell them that from the beginning, they go into their board service knowing that this is just a thing. This is how this works. That reduces frustration later because you're not going to be butting heads with people who you think ought to be helping with fundraising, and they don't know why it's such a problem because that wasn't part of the job description. That wasn't part of anything that you said when you were recruiting them. So you want to set clear expectations from the get-go, and then you want to remind board members. Because here's the thing. During the recruitment process, if you mention to somebody what the expectations are, and you think that that's going to stick, you're sadly mistaken. Not only do you have to share it then so that they're informed and they can make a good choice knowing what they're saying yes to, you want to say it again in orientation. You want to provide it in writing in orientation. And I would restate your expectations in January every year with your entire board. Why? Because it prevents frustration later. It gets and keeps everybody on the same page. Yes, you want to share it, but you also want to put it in writing. I like a board agreement where we put expectations in writing and they sign off on it. They need to keep a copy. You need to keep a copy. If you don't go over these things during recruitment and during orientation and every January, you haven't told people what the rules of the game are. If you don't tell them the rules, they're going to do whatever they've done before, whatever looks fun or familiar. You want to go over roles and responsibilities of a board, what you expect as far as participating in fundraising activities for your organization during the year, et cetera, et cetera. If you're writing grants, you need 100% board giving, and so you want to make that clear from the get-go. I literally just had to set that expectation yesterday in a board retreat that I was helping to facilitate. That had never been a thing. This organization's like 3 or 4 years old. Board giving had never been a thing before, so they're all looking at me like I've got horns growing out of my head. When expectations get fuzzy or when they're non-existent, that's when you basically have opened the space for chaos, frustration, and stress. So be sure to set very clear expectations with board member prospects and reiterate those with your board members regularly so everybody is on the same page. Trust me, it will prevent a lot of frustration later. If you like this video, there's plenty more where this one came from. Be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so that every time we add a new tip, you're the first to find out. I don't want you to miss a single thing.